Hey, it's Phil Kerner, the Tool and Die Guy, and tonight we're going to learn how to read a basic set of micrometers pictured here, 0 to 1, 0 to 1 inch, and I just want to show you that there are a lot of different variations of micrometers. There's a huge set, probably a 36-inch set. There's blade mics for measuring slots on parts. There are even thread mics for measuring the root depth on some threads. So micrometers come in a lot of different varieties. This is a set of depth mics for measuring the depth of pockets and slots. But if you can read this simple set of 0 to 1 inch, odd to ones as we call them, you can read any set of micrometers. So I'm going to take you through it tonight, and by the end of this video you'll get it, you'll understand it, and you'll be able to read a set of mics. So let's get started. Okay, so let's get started with how to read micrometers. You know, it kind of dawned on me tonight before I even recorded this. I think a lot of new people in the trade are probably using digital ones, but you know, that's kind of cheating. So, but let's learn how to read these. Now, when you first look at a set of micrometers, they're pretty intimidating, aren't they? I mean, we've got a scale here with all these numbers. We've got a thimble turning with all these numbers, but I'm going to make it crystal clear for you tonight. So let's just start off with dividing an inch, and that's what this is. And the good news is that any set of micrometers you use, I don't care if they're 99 to 100-inch micrometers, they only measure 1 inch. The small end, when they're shut, would be 99 inches, and when they're all the way open to another inch, they'd be 100 inches. So the micrometers, at least the ones I've always used, only read a total of 1 inch. The distance in between the anvils here, and as I showed you in those early pictures, to determine if they're 0 to 1 inch micrometers, odd to ones like these are, 2 to 3s, 5 to 6s, they just keep increasing the distance in between the span here, but the thimble, or the scale, always reads 1 inch. So what we're going to do is divide 1 inch by 10. 100, 200, 300, 400, and so on, until we get to 0. So let's do something really simple here. I've got a 1 inch gauge block here. If we put this 1 inch gauge block in between here, look at that. Okay, so that is 1 inch. These are 0 to 1s. That's a 1 inch gauge block, and we're at 0 here and 0 here. And I'm just going to lead by example here. Hopefully you can see as we do this. Now let's turn the spindle in and use up all this valuable YouTube video time here. I'll edit that out, I think. Here's a 1/2 inch gauge block, 0.500. See the 5? Right there? And if we screw this all the way in, so 500. It's a 1/2 inch. So that should kind of make sense. Let's talk about this a minute. So if we've divided or an inch by 10 spots, we're calling them hundredths, 10 graduations, all the way up to 1 inch, the next thing we just need to learn is that each 100th is divided by 4 places. So how many hundredths go into how many thousands go into 1/100th of an inch? Pretty simple. 25, 50, 75, 1. 25, 50, 75, 2. 25, 50, 75, 3, and so on. Now that makes it much easier when you realize that every time your thimble reads 0, it's at a 25 thousandths increment. So that's 1 inch. And if we go down 25 thousandths to the next 0, that's 975. And let's just pick a number that's a little easier to read here. If we go down to 500, as soon as we see the 5 line up with the 0, it's 500. 501, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 525. The next line up would be 50, and as soon as this hits 0 again, that's 550. It's really not that hard. So let's read an oddball size block here. Well, maybe not so oddball. Let's check. I've got a 250 thousandths gauge block here, and of course we'll talk about gauge blocks later, but these are pretty much perfectly 250 thousandths or whatever they're supposed to be. This is the industry standard. 250. That would be 251, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The next lineup would be 275. And if we check an oddball sized gauge block, I don't even know what this one is. 125. How did I get 125? Well, screw it down to 100. 5, 10, 15, 20, 125, 125, 126. So that's all it does. All you have to remember is that each time this thing hits 0, it's 25 thousandths. So you read the big number first, that's 100, and then the next line, which is 0, which is 24. You can see there's 24, 25, 150, 155, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's all it is. So all this thimble does is give you the readings in between the 25 marks. Again, just add on. That's 150 there. That's 152. That's 155. And it'll keep going, and the next 0 you hit will be a 25 thousandths marker, which is 175. As soon as you see this 2 start to appear, and 196, 7, 8, 9, 200 thousandths. So I hope that helps. If you have any questions, if I went too fast, just email me, and I will run through this again. But that is your basic thimble and how to read a set of 0-to-1 micrometers. But if you can read these, you can read any micrometers. And I'll talk to you maybe on another lesson on getting the proper feel. These aren't too hard. This is what they call a friction thimble. And when I hit the number, or when I hit the spot, when I'm measuring something, I can't squeeze them. Thimble spins. It's got a friction fit that won't let me just manhandle these things like a C-clamp, okay? And some micrometers have a little thing on the end called a ratchet clip, and all that would do is click after I've hit the right measurement spot. It won't let you squeeze them too hard. So getting a feel on 0-to-1s isn't too hard. And talk to me later when you're using a set of 11 to 12s and you're trying to keep 1 or 2 thousandths tolerance. A little bit different there. So this is the Tool and Die Guy. I hope this helps read a set of micrometers. Again, send me your questions or comments. Love to hear them.